in August of last school year, we were in this room here in the cafeteria at Rocky Mount Elementary School where I asked you guys to be ready for anything. And we put it on shirts, and we put it on the back of the sign, and then we had to hold on real tight because we were ready for a lot of different things. This coming up school year, 23-24 school year, I've had individual conversations, collective conversations with folks about my desire for us to become an Energy Bus certified school. I found this book after spending time thinking about what Rocky Mount Elementary School needs, and what I see that we need is the ability to instill in our students perseverance. We've had conversations the entire year about them falling back at the smallest slight. And it can impact them for 5 minutes, it can impact them for 50 minutes, it can impact them for the remainder of the day. And then we, as the teachers, are in a position where we're picking up the pieces the remainder of the day. So I started looking into that. What I found was this book by John Gordon. It was written in 2008. It's about 165 pages, and it follows a businessman named George. And George is preparing for a huge presentation, and he goes to get in his car, and he has a flat tire. He goes to put on the spare, and he realizes that the spare is also broken. His wife told him to fix it 3 weeks ago. He didn't get it fixed, so he goes inside the house. He says, "Dear, I need to borrow the van." And she says, "I have things to do today. You can't borrow the van." And from that point forward, he goes back out. He tries to think of a plan, goes back inside, and she says, "You're going to have to take public transportation." And so he walks a block or so to the bus stop, gets on the bus. The driver's name is Joy. She can tell that George does not want to be on that bus. She starts talking to him. He is super annoyed with her, but he eventually gets to his job. He gets off the bus, calls the auto shop. His car is not going to be ready for 10 days, so George has to ride the bus for the next 10 days. While he's on the bus, each day, Joy and the passengers on the bus reveal to him a new rule or something to live by. And so the first rule, it starts talking about it very early on in the book, is you're the driver of your own bus. And how often are we in situations where we're having conversations with our kids saying it's not what others are doing that's determining the path for you, but it's you, and that's the premise of it, you're the driver of your own bus. Rule number 2 is vision moves your bus in the right direction. Once Joy presents on rule number 2, when they get to the 3rd day, she then brings into play the Energy Bus for Kids. And she makes George take the book home, read it to his family, which he thinks is kind of hokey, but he does it anyway. And the Energy Bus for Kids, instead of having 10 rules like the Energy Bus, the book does, it has 5 rules. Create a positive vision is the very first rule. Fuel your ride with positive energy, no bullies allowed, love your passengers, and then the last one is enjoy the ride. And my hope for the next school year, as Rocky Mountain Elementary becomes an Energy Bus certified school, is that we, the adults in the building, can commit to the ideas of this book, which again is about 165 pages. We'll be getting copies for our instructional staff members to go over throughout the course of the year. But we can commit to these ideas. We can be the driver of our own bus. We can instill the idea of perseverance in our kids, give them the tools necessary. And the way that I've described this to a lot of folks is to be an Energy Bus certified school is a lot like being the Leader in Me light version. It's going to come with activities. I met with several of our grade levels, and in meeting with those, we talked about some of the activities that come within becoming an Energy Bus certified school. One of them I thought was really awesome, talking about being the driver of your own bus and planning out stages and steps in your life that are going to lead to success. I thought about our friend Ian, who spent his year in Miss Ulrich's class, having him show the students the vision and drive necessary for him to be successful, and then having conversations in the class. What do all the stops on the road to success look like, or the destination of success look like? So this is my small infomercial into what we're hoping to do next school year. I'm sure we'll come up with a clever theme. We're in the process of doing that right now, but we are very hopeful that by creating common language and being able to use it in all of our rooms from pre-K to 5th grade, and over the next several years, kind of developing our own identity as an Energy Bus school, that we're gonna see our students not take 10 steps backwards when something small happens to them, but dive in and dig into the idea that they're the driver of their own bus. And if something's not working right, I need to kind of reset my focus and change my vision, and make sure that I see success as the path. And the one that I think we also are really going to be able to tie into is loving our passengers. Are we doing a good job? If we're not keeping our hands to ourselves, if we're pre-K, or we're saying something rude if we're in 5th grade, are we loving the other passengers on the bus? And I think that that's a common theme in the adult version of the book, as well as the Energy Bus for Kids. So I'm super excited about this. Like I said, I've presented this to various grade levels and staff members over the course of the last several weeks. This is something that I'm committed to moving full steam on, because I do think at the end of the day, having that idea of being the driver of our own bus and then enjoying the ride are things that set people up for future success. So won't you join me on this bus ride?